Hello, this is JC from Real and Simulated Wars. I am here in Microsoft Flight Simulator and I'm flying an F-22A, which is a DLC from Top Mac, I believe. I paid around $40 for this DLC, and well, I'm gonna make some comments about this DLC. Of course, there is no weapons available. This is not the reason why I am flying. The reason why I'm flying right now over here at this specific spot in Alaska, it is because, as you know, I'm an avid player of Command Modern Operations, which is a game that also is available on Steam, which is a simulator for air and naval operations. It has a land component too, but it's not so strong over there. And there is plenty of content for this, community created content, and there is also, you know, DLCs and scenarios that are you know, payware. And one of them, it was Icebreakers, which shows a mission or an operation where we have to force entering into that ice breaking zone number 1 that you see in the north west at the near the top left of the screen right there. And our mission, it is to, well, take all the ships, use the icebreakers to break into. It's a kind of a operation where there is a component of assuring free transit of ships. It's a presence operation, and the Russians, of course, they're not overtly or, you know, openly declaring like a sea denial operation, but they're there to harass. It's a pretty nice scenario. I have played it plenty. It's incredible how many, you know, different ways that you can approach it. But one of the components that it was very nice to see, it is that this scenario in Command has F-22s, and these F-22s are coming out of the Elmendorf Richardson Air Force Base, which is near Anchorage. It is down there. Hope that you can see my cursor. And well, these aircraft have to fly all the way up over there to this area of operations. Of course, there's gonna be some refueling needed, but to be honest, it's such a distance. It's around like 900 miles that these aircraft had to travel, that I was curious to see, well, you know, what's up with the F-22. It has been said that it has very short legs, that the range is not as good as one can imagine, and well, that's why now that I have this DLC for Microsoft Flight Simulator, I wanted to see what's up with that. This is not a test, has no technical value whatsoever. It is just to get the feeling, be in the place, and nothing else than that. So I created a flight plan using Little Navmap, which is an external utility that you use to generate flight plans, and then you can load them into your Microsoft Flight Simulator, and you can see all the legs and the waypoints that I created for this flight plan. You can see the aircraft over there, the icon right there. We are nearby, I believe is waypoint number 1, which is now highlighted in and in green right there. So we're flying there, and you know, quite a long flight. Each leg has around 200 miles for getting into the combat station, which I consider, you know, these two waypoints right there, 3 and 4, and it's quite a trip to get up there. And well, let's go and see how we're doing in the F-22. This F-22 externally looks very appealing. It has a high quality textures, and it's quite a nice model. Everything is animated. The textures are really fantastic. There is no complaints over there. The animations of the landing gear are also very impressive. So when it comes to the cockpit itself, of course, only defense companies and the US government and the pilots and the Air Force know what's included into the avionics of this aircraft. There is no weapons whatsoever, not even the fake ones that you sometimes can get into Microsoft Flight Simulator or X-Plane. So the avionics are quite toned down. There is a lot of artistic liberties, but they're functional and you can fly in peace by using them. You see, you have a lot of multifunction displays over there. The one in the middle center is showing us right now the trajectory or the flight plan and where is our relative position. We're about to overfly an airport right there, and on the left right here I have the fuel situation. We have 17,000 pounds so far. We started with 26, so we are kind of guzzling a lot. I do believe that my climb speed was not optimal for saving fuel, but again, the fuel consumption that these guys have plugged into their DLC, it is a bit of an estimation, I suppose. I don't think that that data is available. If anybody knows, you can post a comment. So the MFDs, they have limited functionality, of course. I'm sure that you can see many different features that are not present right here in this particular model. You see some of the buttons are functional, and well, I'm coming back to the fuel. The same goes for this one over there. You can zoom in and zoom out at pleasure. We're nearby waypoint number 1, and over there we have something regarding the status of the engines. Some buttons, as you can see, they are not available. You have the oil pressure, I suppose, and the fuel flow. So there is a backup type of horizontal indicator over there, and you have the ICP over the top right there. The textures are kind of here and there. I'm not a complainer about that, but you know, you cannot, they feel very kind of digitally generated. There is no, you know, there is, you cannot, you don't get the impression that is something that is real over there. So we have right there our status page. TACAN, of course, is not modeled in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so we cannot use it. Look at that, IFF, and using the M3A channel, which is cool, but IFF is of course not modeled at all. We have our UTC or Zulu time over there, and some other data. And let's go, let me show you for navigation. We have the different radios over there. Navigation 1, we have this frequency. For navigation 2, we have another one. And if you go down over here, you can see, well, TACAN, I miss you, but not there. And you can switch into ILS frequencies from the navigation 1 and navigation 2, which is funny, but I believe it's a simplification of the module itself. So steer point data, we're nearing waypoint number 1. We are 36 miles off. We're going to arrive in 3 minutes and 40 seconds roughly. Pretty neat, pretty nice. There is a few pages that you can navigate into. IFF. Oh, look at that. Huh. You can switch it. I didn't know that until now, but of course. Wow. Look at this. Holy cow, I'm impressed. But of course, it's not functional within the Microsoft Flight Simulator universe. I wonder if you can use it as a transponder. Oh, there it is. You can put your squawk code over there. Huh. Pretty neat. And well, we have the altitude that you can set your barometric altitude at the destination. We have the default there. I rarely touch that, much to my peril, but you know, I do my landings manually. We have the HUD. Most of these are not functional except for the caged one, where if there is too much wind, you can just cage it and keep it in the center. And then you have the other button, where of particular interest right now, for me at least for this trip, it is the situation of the fuel. We're at 15,000 pounds. We're traveling at 380 knots, which is 0.98 Mach. So we're going a bit fast. I honestly don't know what is the most fuel efficient speed for this aircraft, but we're flying at 30k at 30,000 feet. So I don't know. The fuel flow, maybe we can adjust it a little bit, but very useful is this time to empty and the distance to empty. And as you can see, if we take this out, we're going to run out of fuel way before we arrive to waypoint number 3, or just at waypoint number 3. So I suppose that one of the air-to-air refuelings can be done before arriving at waypoint number 3, which is our combat station. Maybe I can try it. I have the flexibility that this DLC has, that it's a kind of a fake system, but you know, it works. Just put the aircraft at a certain altitude. I believe it is below 30,000 feet, and you have to have an airspeed less than 325 knots, and you open your door and the thing will refuel. There is no animation. Only I believe that the door, the refueling door, is animated in our aircraft. You know, we don't have the refueler or anything like that. That's a pity. I saw a screenshot somewhere showing that, but didn't happen for this DLC. So far, maybe we are going a bit too fast and we need to reduce our air speed to 350 knots. I apologize that I don't know the cruise speed. All I have read it is about the super cruise abilities of this aircraft, of going at Mach 1 without using the afterburners, which is pretty much a situation that I have right now. As you can see, we are at Mach 0.98 right there. So I suppose that, you know, maybe we could have saved some fuel for later. This aircraft also comes with an autopilot system, which I haven't engaged right now. The master is armed. We're using the source as a GPS. You can use the radios for navigation 1 channel or navigation 2. It has an auto throttle that sometimes comes in handy because you can set up your speed at a very precise setting. And we have the navigation active. Approach it is when you are nearby an ILS, which, by the way, you can use. You can tune to that ILS, and you will get into the glide slope, and the aircraft, the autopilot is gonna guide it. And I usually disengage it like 5 to 6 nautical miles from the edge of the airstrip, but it's up to you. I don't know, I never took it anywhere else. And then you have here, you can set your speed, and or you indicate the airspeed in Mach right there. And well, I wanted to show you this. You can set your altitude. Right now is 30,000. This thing can go up to 60,000 feet, which is quite fun. It is near the edge of the space, but I didn't want to go there because I get into situations where the autopilot is not working very fine. It's not showing its best. So where are we? We still have a long way to go. We are going to be hitting that waypoint number 2 in around 20 minutes. So as you can see, well, no surprise there, the distances are enormous, and you need to cover them, and you cannot be engaging your basically your afterburner to get there. It's not for the anxious, and you have to be patient and you know, fly the aircraft correctly, which I am not doing, of course. So when it comes to this steer point, not that we spoke about that, the way to switch between different steer points, it is by the use of this button right here, which is completely fake. When you press that button, you will see kind of an extension or an offshot of the Garmin 3000. And take a look. You can press direct to, which is a very useful thing, or you can activate different legs for your flight plan. Right now we're between waypoint 1 and waypoint number 2, and well, you know, you can activate different legs if you want, or you can switch back to different waypoints, and sometimes it's not optimal. We're completely sure the F-22 doesn't have this, but it works. It is functional, so we're going to take it. And oh my God, Alaska is beautiful. I set it up in August, roughly the same date that the Command Modern Operations scenario is, August 18. The only thing I am not kind of following, it is a local time, and the reason it is because the local time for the start of the command mission is around 1 a.m. and we won't see anything, and I just wanted to show you the cockpit and, you know, the exterior world right there. We're still flying over land. And we have a long way to go. So, in conclusion, that's all I wanted to say. Again, this is not a test. This is not to prove anything. It just feels kind of cool to be visiting, you know, the places where I go into my other game forays. Oh, look at that. There is a glitch over there. When you try to zoom out. Again, I was saying that it's nice to be in the places where you game and get an impression of what the terrain is like. For my next flight, I believe I'm gonna modify this flight plan and bring it closer to that Russian island over there. The reason I want to do that is because I want to see a piece of Russian land. Right now I'm still gonna be like quite far away. You know, if we take our let me show you this. How do you detach? The compass rose from there. So we're going to be like, you know, 100 miles from the island. Not enough to see it. I wish I could have a ranging, and I don't recall how to do it. Little map tends to throw all the options in your face. I closed a lot of windows, but it is a very useful program. I am really liking it. So that's basically it. I thank you for your kind attention, and thank you for, you know, following me in my adventures in different games, all in the spirit of having fun. So I will see you next time with the next video.